Okay, here we are once again. Just another video. This time I'm trying to quickly respond to some of the good comments people gave me about another video I made earlier this week. I was trying to give 3 random tips, and I saw that most of the questions people gave me were about the tip number 2, which I didn't really go into much detail. So maybe it's a good idea for me to just dive a bit deeper into that kind of idea. By the way, yeah, the tip number 2 was simply about me not really approving the way people keep making these lifts off the ground for a purpose of training the top roll or your wrist especially, because since I keep seeing many videos online of people taking such a grip over the knuckles, which to me kind of tells me that the goal is to strengthen your wrist, making sure that it doesn't just buckle during the match. Because yeah, losing your wrist like this is pretty terrible. Most likely it's very hard to recover after this. So this kind of fundamental arm wrestling strength is really important, just to being able to maintain the post. So yeah, and I was saying that it's maybe not the best idea to keep this tension perpendicular to your forearm. I was saying that it should be a bit more like this, so you can do it in this way. And okay, let's get into the explanation. First of all, the first assumption is that we are training wrist, not biceps. I would maybe agree that such a lift where maybe I just hang something on my arm and then keep lifting things off the ground is great for my biceps here, because the biceps is nicely positioned. The biceps is just nicely in tension all the time. The attachment is somewhere here, and it's working without any problems. Nothing is grinding in a bad way, no joint problems, just the biceps work, which really makes sense to me. Now, using the same logic, since I do one during the arm wrestling match, I would like my wrist to somehow come or get bent a little bit in this way, and then just roughly kind of move like this. Boom, full hand control. Yeah, maybe I'm not able to start in a perfect position like this, somewhere here, and then just boom, perfect hand control. That's my goal, and I need these muscles to somehow work nicely during my training. I don't want any bad kind of grinding of the joint. I want them to be in tension all the time. For example, if you start here, you have nice tension, and if you kind of lift it up and you end up being somewhere here, suddenly your wrist is in many ways under compression as well, which I don't like. I feel like it's a bit, if you do it for thousands and thousands of times, it's maybe not that healthy for a joint. So the direction change into something like this, first of all, I think it's much more healthy. There is no danger of suddenly being here and something just kind of fails and the wrist just buckles in a bad way, which is a danger if you kind of cross that 90-degree angle. Okay, so that's roughly the explanation of, like, I prefer the movement to be very healthy, always in tension, I feel like this matches the actual armor sling angle much better. I know we have many posting top rollers, but that style is also a bit, I don't think it's that effective at the highest level anyways. So I wouldn't rely on just posting in this and hoping that you get that much of an advantage in any big high level match. You do like dragging and having the strong pulling back pressure is in my mind a lot more efficient. And let me just remember if I had anything else to say. Yeah, some people also ask how do they train such a movement if they don't have any cable, machine or table. So I also think that's quite simple. You just kind of, maybe you hang something on the cable and you just kind of do the movement, which is a bit more like this. You just don't, you don't start doing this kind of thing. Just pulling up, working on your wrist, making sure your wrist muscles kind of move instead of just no movement, almost just kind of lifting off the ground. Yeah, the biceps is maybe engaged, but then that wrist stability is just ensured by, in many ways, the joint being kind of locked up, not really the muscle doing any work. So just a few comments like this, hope it helps. And yeah, maybe give me more questions about it if you guys are still not unsure if that's a better way to do it or not. It's a bit difficult for me to remember everything. I'm trying to do it in one go, but yeah, more questions are very welcome. Cheers.